Chelsea have absolutely bullied Barcelona 3-0 in the Champions League. Here's a breakdown of the game, some match analysis, 5 things we've learned. Surely the most important win for Clearlake maybe ever. I think beating Barcelona 3-0 at home in such a historic fixture, the kind of result where Barcelona have picked up famous victories over Chelsea. And of course, Chelsea beat Barcelona on the way to winning their first ever European Cup. It's a famous, glorious, cinematic fixture for both clubs. And the fact that Clearlake haven't really had these kind of results, not too many of them, beating PSG, I get that in the summer, in the Club World Cup. For me, that isn't as impressive as this result in an actual season when Barcelona are fighting for things, when Barcelona are trying to win the Champions League in their own right. The Club World Cup, I don't know enough about it. It felt like a strange pre-season tournament, still a great thing to win. And of course, Chelsea have won football matches in terms of winning actual silverware. They've got into the Champions League last season, important games. But there's something about this where actually 3, 4, 5, 10 out of 10 performances have lit up the Champions League tonight. And this young Chelsea side, a lot of Chelsea fans have got big issues with how ill-equipped they are to win the Premier League, how immature they are at points throughout the squad. But whatever this Chelsea side lacks in maturity, that makes up for in world-class, prodigious talent. And the main man has to be Esteval, who scores an unbelievable goal. And only Kylian Mbappe scored more goals at this age than Esteval in the Champions League. It's a staggering statistic that he's in that kind of young Kylian Mbappe territory. It's a beautiful thing to watch if you're a football fan, because the world needs more Estevals for sure. Football has been sterilised beyond all belief, and he's someone that can carry the ball, score from outrageous angles, and has got a ceiling as high as anyone in world football. I'm not going to eulogise too much about him because I want to talk about the goals in a chronological order. But you have to say, Delap today was fantastic. Garnacho, who's a young kid, fantastic today. Chalobah was fantastic. Fofana was great. And Esteval as well. Lots of young players in this Chelsea squad are doing very, very well right now. If you're beating Barcelona 3-0. Let's just talk about all the goals. Obviously, make sure you subscribe if you're new to the channel as well. Would really appreciate it. Jules Koundé makes it 1-0 down to Barcelona with an own goal from Cucurella. Some beautiful kind of interplay from Chelsea. Cucurella finds himself, it was well worked on the right-hand side of the pitch. He finds himself on the right-hand side and he plays a very, very great ball across the face of the box. It's one of those own goals that's almost so good, so well worked from Chelsea that they deserved the own goal, and they forced some terrible defending out of Barcelona, but they forced the issue. And at that point, I had no idea how Barcelona were going to get back into the game. Lamine Yamal was completely quiet. Lewandowski was getting bullied by the centre-backs. He looked a little bit old for this kind of fixture, by the way. Eric Garcia in midfield doesn't look right. And Ferran Torres missed a couple of big chances. You're not going to win a Champions League with Ferran Torres starting new football matches. I can guarantee you that much for sure. So once it's 1-0 to Chelsea, the energy, the adrenaline, the passion in the stadium drives Chelsea forward in the second half in a big way. The Esteval goal is a staggering work of art. It really, really is. And it's down to the build-up play between Gusto, between Reece James, who was popping into midfield today. That connection between Gusto and Reece James is working a treat and gives a lot of protection for Enzo Maresca when Chelsea are off the ball. Worked very, very well. If you actually rewatch the goal, before Esteval gets that lovely little ball from Reece James, it's all one touch, one touch, 1-2 touch in and around the corners. And James plays it into Esteval, who beats a couple of men and smashes it near post, but into the roof of the net. Nothing the keeper could do, Garcia today. Nothing Corbassi could do today, who got absolutely ran ragged in this goal. Esteval is a genius level footballer. He could end up being one of the most talented players Chelsea have ever seen. That's how high his ceiling is. Now, when you're at that age, things can go deeply wrong. Things cannot materialize. And it's happened for many young Brazilians. It's happened for many young talents in football. I think he's got his head screwed on right. I think he's got the physicality to match his ambition. Sometimes young players come through. You think, are they going to grow into the role? Are they going to be big enough? Can they protect themselves from injury? You look at Lamine Yamal, who's still very slight, very kind of thin figure. and he's obviously got groin issues. He's got certain injuries. He looked a million miles off of it. But something about Eustevio that I've noticed is he's quite bulky. He's obviously small. He's not the biggest guy in the world, but he's got kind of muscle around him. It looks like he's protected, and that's going to be really important for Esteval for how high his ceiling can be. He's going to have a long career because he's got a very big frame. He's going to bounce off people. He's not going to get injured as much. In my opinion, from what I've seen, he looks so robust physically. And the way he's bouncing off people to score that goal, it's electrifying. It really is. It's a staggering finish that was not easy. To do that into the roof of the net, it's a top-level finish. It's an instinctive finish. You can't teach that at Power League. You just can't. And then Leon Delap with a beautiful moment because really, he's come into the squad. I thought he was all right when he started for Chelsea at the start of the season. Obviously, gets a relatively big injury. He's basically ruled him out until now, essentially. And he scores a great goal. He gets played in on the left-hand side. I think it's Cucurella that plays him, who's absolutely off the chain today. We'll talk about him in a minute. But he gets played in by Cucurella. It's a great finish, actually. He lets it go across his body, and he tucks it into the tight side of the net. It's a great finish from him. And you feel today that actually, when I was watching the Manchester City game on the other screen, no Haaland. There was no kind of figurehead, no one to bounce the ball up to. And I worried for Chelsea in this game with Neto kind of playing as that false nine striker, what would happen with a lack of physicality. And Barcelona played into it with the high line. If there's any side in world football that would love you to play a high line, it would be Chelsea. There's quite a few clubs as well that would love it. But Chelsea are built to run in behind. They've got Neto that wants to do it, Esteval that wants to do it, Enzo Fernandez from midfield wants to run in behind, Reece James will power on, Garnacho will power on, it goes on and on. Jamie Gittins will run at you, George will run at you. They've got almost so many wingers. It is the kryptonite for any highline side. It would be this Chelsea team because they've got so much mobility. We can debate their quality, we can debate their maybe how astute they are on the ball, how pragmatic, how much leadership they've got, how much experience they've got to win a Champions League, to win a Premier League title. Maybe they're a bit far away from it. But if you're Barcelona, if you're Hansi Flick, you can't be so wedded to a high line against a Chelsea side that are basically bursting at the seams with wingers ready to go to run in behind. They might not even have the most end products in the world, but they will run in behind all day long. So will Cucurella. So will Gusto. They've got about 10 guys that want to run in behind. I mean, what's going on? Away from home? It's kamikaze stuff in Barcelona. It was actually a touch embarrassing at points. Delap with a great finish. Cucurella, let's go back to him. Maybe the most hateful player to watch as an opposition fan, but one of those players that you have to have on your side. He makes you nastier. He makes you more of a vindictive team. He's a throwback in many ways. He's a nasty footballer. Dives about a lot, and it ruins the game at points, but today he was stupendous. One of the best left backs, not only in the Premier League but in European football. He would improve a lot of teams. He'd make them a lot more robust and versatile. He's so good on the ball. He never loses it, and he bombs forward. And now you're starting to see why Chelsea spent so much money on him, making him, I think, the most expensive fullback in the history of the game. He was absolutely superb. Where do you go without Caicedo? Caicedo dropping in there with Reece James today and Enzo Fernandez having a free role. It worked massively well. Caicedo is better than anything that Barcelona have got. When they've got Eric Garcia, who's a diminutive centre-back playing in midfield, Lopez, De Jong today, looking lightweight. Of course, they had a big issue with Araujo, who obviously got a major red card. But apart from that, this Barcelona midfield was lightweight, porous, and ready to concede chance after chance, and that's what happened today. Caicedo was the foundational block of everything that Chelsea did very, very well today. Again, proven why. Again, same with Cucurella. I think Chelsea are beginning to show us they've got a couple of players now that are of a European Champions League level quality, and Caicedo for me is one of the best defensive midfielders in world football. Again, I'm just going to wrap up the fact that Chelsea are playing Barcelona. No Cole Palmer, none of their talisman, no João Pedro today as well. You have to say, doing it without Cole Palmer, has it freed up Esteval, who plays in a very similar position just off the right to Cole Palmer? Obviously, Esteval and Cole Palmer suddenly makes this side even better. And you've got serious competition with Reece James, Enzo Fernandez, Caicedo in midfield as well. It's beginning to percolate at Chelsea. It's beginning to bubble up. Is it enough to win a major piece of silverware like this? Who knows? But Barcelona last season were a lot of football fans' favourites to win the Champions League. They got to the semi-final. They threw it out a little bit. They got a little bit embarrassed by Inter Milan. Defensively so poor in that game at points, conceding 4 in the second leg. But Chelsea have beaten them 3-0. So they're in there, Chelsea. They're a cup side for sure, and they've got enough experience to win a Club World Cup. They've got enough experience to beat Barcelona, who are in the top 4 from last season of the Champions League. It's a massive moment for where this Clear Lake project is going, and all the young guns for Chelsea are firing right now in these big games, and it's working a treat. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Make sure you subscribe if you're new to the channel. I'll see you very, very soon.